done. Now remember, pick out your enemy and circulate, yeah? Go round her, full of menace. But remember, never touch. Never touch. Okay. What's the matter?
We're supposed to be the leaders.
Yeah, look, Debbie, just watch it. See? Just feel it, Debbie. Feel it.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry. Richards!
It's gone, and it doesn't matter.
Doesn't it?
Look, I asked for it. I mean, I said no touching, and I'm only part-time.
Half the girls are in here because nobody's bothered to touch them. At home, at school, even with a barge pole. So they reach out.
Well, I just thought I'd report.
Ben, on your way down, drop in and see Mrs. Featherstone. Although she is trained, she can't quite see how West Side Story helps.
Look, it was about control. I mean, I've heard you often enough. If we can't help them control themselves in here, how the hell do we expect them to outside?
I'm not criticizing. I approve. I'm supposed to be an archangel, but I've had enough failures to fill the House of Commons. Next time, touch. Only explain what you're doing. Nobody's told these girls much. They've been shunned, ignored. But they and we know that they can't stay in a place like this all their lives. And you don't put shattered things together without picking them up first.
Here, come out here a minute.
Let's go.
2 o'clock. All I can see is a bunch of so-called detectives sitting on their fannies. Now, you lot should be out. Barrett, admin's upstairs. Now, what are you doing?
If we can go into your office,
No,
sir,
let's
I'll
hear
fill
it in
you
front of them.
Right? Sergeant Barrett's been getting those conspiracy to rob papers.
3 bloody weeks ago, that team was nicked. Why is he still doing it now?
I've been stuck with some statements,
The CIS who did some of the oddbos on the bank have been helping Kent and Sussex out on the coast.
The drugs jump.
You mean they've been sat on their asses in pubs and clubs drinking with the local yokels, right? Do you bail them?
No.
Well, then you should have done. They could have done their statements in their hotel rooms. Got transport coming up to smoke every day. What about him?
He's had 3 days in Crown Court, plus the Barclaycard fraud. There's 3 to be lifted on that.
Well, I'm glad we'll be getting some bodies in. I thought you lot had joined the Gurkhas. Take no prisoners. Will you find that funny, eh?
No, sir.
This yours?
No, sir.
No, sir, that's mine.
When?
12:30 to about...
In the line of duty? Aren't playing squash nowadays, are they? I suppose you've got a good word to say for him, and him?
Yes.
And what about you? You're an inspector, you're operational, you're not desk-bound
Not
yet.
here, sir. Your office or mine.
You keep up the sniggering, you'll find yourself wearing a funny hat. When I get back, I want this place empty.
Jesus.
He's not about today. You're going to have to settle for me.
Now, look, sir, I know that you're my chief inspector, but let's stick to the rules, shall we? Don't slice me in front of the other ranks.
I meant every word. Know what's work's coming in? How many on the charge sheet? Lately you've seen the property store, we could sell it to Oxfam.
What's the problem? The area on our backs?
The figures speak for themselves. I'm beginning to wonder if we've got 8 blown detectives out there.
What do you mean?
They've got nothing left in them. They're running out of steam.
They don't like paper. Nicking bodies is hard enough, but paperwork's worse. It takes days out of you.
Then they'll have to be quicker. I want them out there on the streets. Results out there, not perched on their desks.
You trumpet.
Maggie, you're operational. I'm the paper man. Now get them out of there and yourself. I want those cells filled. If not, gonna have to be changes, right?
Sir?
Rose, yeah, put your typewriter down a minute, love. I've got some extra paperwork coming in from the troops. Yeah. Yeah, if it's overtime, I'll pay.
Oh, where's the funeral?
Oh, bollocking time.
Who from?
Jimmy, I'll take it in my office. Right, I want everybody out. I'm confiscating your cushions. Come on, out!
Her.
20 million lemmings, can't be wrong.
Well, did we win?
No.
We did the mail touch.
If you hadn't taken 4 hours over a remand, you'd be entitled to criticise.
Very touchy.
You and I are on the streets.
I thought that was a purely female occupation.
Prisoners, bodies. Have you lost your power of arrest a bit?
What do you mean?
Ask the man. Inspector Forbes speaking.
401 PC Newton here, ma'am, from Victor November. I'm at the Halyside Detention Centre. I understand from Mr. Burwell here that you dealt with a girl, Deborah Richard, a couple of years ago.
Yes, that's right. What's the problem?
She's absconded from here, ma'am, between 11:15 and 11:30 today, ma'am.
Pass me, Mr. Burwell. Ralph, what's happened?
The impossible. She's done it.
Yes, I can imagine. There's more locked doors in Halyside than Fort Knox.
Well, the art studio is away from the main block, as you know. She ran out of there, up over the gate and away.
You reckon she's coming out west?
Well, there's our mother.
Ralph, yes or no?
Yes, I think so.
It was about 15 months ago. Shouldn't she have been in Holloway?
Well, she has been most of her time, but the Home Office, due to her age, sent her here to finish off.
And she thinks she's coming my way.
Well, the resident psychiatric report here suggests that she's got 3 main obsessions. Home, contact with males, and you.
I was doing my job.
You arrested her. There's pages of it here. You're in and out of them all.
Am I going to be hung or shot?
She took a palette knife from this studio.
Winning films like Hot Dames on Cold Slabs.
I only watch Dallas when I'm home.
Well, I want you to get off down there, have a word in Mr. Paris's ear.
Inspector, I heard you telling the man I've got the kiting to wrap up. 3 tasty cons waiting for me, little nut. I'm sorry.
I knocked on the front. I want to see Sergeant Forbes.
She's an inspector.
And I asked up the Nick, and they said she was home.
Who are you?
She helped me once. Honey. I'm just out of where I've been. I wanted to say thank you. You her son?
Yeah.
Can we have a cup of tea? I'll pour. Sugar?
No.
And Sandra. Sandra Nelson.
Well, you won't mind if I ring up. Only we're a bit funny about people strolling around our back gardens.
Why? You think I'm a laugh?
She's the inspector, and the Nick never gives private numbers. So? Well, how do you know about him?
He's in my file at the own. They never tell you anything, you know. You have to look. Will she be long?
Nope, not. I get hungry waiting. How long you been out?
2 weeks.
Mr. Richard. That's for his beer. I should have married a leprechaun. I only like Guinness.
Has Debbie been here today?
She's inside.
When did you last see her?
She wanted a pair of bright socks that shine in the dark. They give her standing, so I took her 2 lots for Christmas. She over the side? Today? Don't worry, if she comes here, we'll tell you.
Don't sound as if you've got much time for her.
She's not our girl anymore. Jack agrees, you can ask him. She hasn't been the girl we knew for the last 3 years. She's done diabolical things. What do you expect? Jack? Jack!
Jack Jones?
Oh, it's Mum, not me. Where do you live?
Wanstead.
How'd you get here?
Tube. What you worried about? I won't touch her. If your bird comes in, I'll wait in another room. Okay?
Okay.
Will she be long?
I haven't got a bird.
Your mum.
It depends. I'll go and ring up.
Okay.
Have you got an up-to-date photograph of her?
No.
What?
Your door.
Why are some little animals? Like, you touch a baby's skin, they're all the same.
We used to visit every fortnight at first, but she was very violent with her eyes.
Think about it. Then tell me.
Do you think she might go back to what she was doing before?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, thrashing don't help.
Look, if she does turn up, would you ring that number? Fast. When you visited or talked to her, did she ever mention me?
No.
What was that?
Yes, well, thanks anyway. She's gone out. Some Bert didn't even know where to.
Do you mind if I wait?
No.
Hey, she's really long. I'll cook you a meal. I used to have my own flat, you know. Kitchen, little corridor, William Morris curtains, and a 6-foot Snoopy in the hall.
Where?
Can we play this?
If you like.
You put it on. I don't know how to work it. Inside, you don't keep up with, you know, so, will you explain it?
What were you in for?
Killing somebody. Now what?
Flick it to auto.
Jake.
Oh, there's a photo being sent out from Victor November. And a docket on your desk.
Oh, good.
Croft's in there, with your guests.
Yes?
Yeah, excuse us.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Well, nature and myself abhor a vacuum. And besides, do you want strangers paddling round in your drawers? And you're in trouble.
I'm busy.
Now look, Maggie, I know all about that kid. She's handy with a shiv.
You've been doing too much reading.
Well, do you think it's wise getting involved with her again? Now, shouldn't you hand it over?
Ayatollah, you are bang on.
Ralph.
Hello, Margaret. Look, I'm sorry if we're in the way, but there was nothing to do back there, so I thought I'd come looking. This is Ben Twyford. He gives a weekly drama class to the girls, Inspector Forbes.
Well, she hasn't been home. Oh, please. Where would you start looking?
Everywhere. Look, if we are in the way, please say.
No, that's right. It's just that I don't want us going over the same ground. Now, what was the address of that flat of hers?
Oh, we've been there. It's owned by a publisher and a male maid.
I know, we're not even sure that she's up here. Did you have any close friends in the unit? Ones with friends or parents?
No, checked.
We're both in trouble. She looks so frightened.
She's two people, Margaret. One's all smiles and eager to please, then the other.
I reckoned I couldn't move.
Who?
Some black trash.
What happened when you know?
Do you want to know about me?
Yeah.
Then asked your mum.
Well, she isn't here.
All right. Go on. Ask what you want. But we've got to make a deal.
What?
You don't really want to know, do you?
What I've said.
You're trying to occupy me. Waste time till you're rescued. Give me your hand.
You get funny visitors.
Like me?
What do you think she'll do, Mr. Twyford?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd pinned hopes on the flat she used to have. Look, I'm not a psychiatrist, but some things are so obvious you'd be a cretin not to see they're important. I mean, I realise she says a lot to hide what she thinks, and she does things to provoke, and then she can't accept responsibility for the chaos afterwards.
For instance?
Well, she's always wanting to dress up. I mean, if I ask for suggestions from the class, ideas for improvisations, she always wants a fancy dress party, or the Civil War, nightclubs.
I was right.
Yet as soon as some of the others suggest something domestic, she'd then give a brilliant rundown of a family situation, or when she'd describe a flat, always the same one. And then she'd attack anyone who said great idea.
What were you right about, Margaret?
About where I'm going. Is she psychotic?
No, but she is a mess.
Come on! You're so slow. You couldn't even catch a dose. We got eggs or omelette?
Omelette.
Oh. eat cheese. That's off. So it'll have to be egg omelette. There we go. One bowl, please.
Up there?
You're just like my dad.
What does he do?
Salt and pepper. He makes beer. Or he hands out beltings. Advice, do this, do that. He can't even get a job. Done that. Then he gets pissed. And he hates everybody. Especially me.
But you like him?
Do like yours.
He's dead. What about this deal, then?
You got lard?
Mum uses Marge.
Make that work. I wish we had chilies. Or peppers and mushrooms. I can cook. I'm really good when I've got the right materials. Do you like me socks?
I'm sorry, darling. It's have to be some other time.
Haven't you forgotten something?
What?
If you're not too hungry, can I have my sergeant back? Thank you. Now, while I slip into my gown, you can bring my car round. And you're coming with me. No more excuses about overwork.
Shall I come too?
No, not where I'm going. I won't have to make promises or threats, so you won't be able to hear. You going back tonight?
No, I'll keep on looking.
Well, if you find her, ring here. If not, and you want a bed, you know where we are.
Yes. I think there's still a lot of things to talk about.
Take care. Goodbye, Mr. Twyford, and thank you. Don't worry, we'll find her. Cheers, love.
Bye-bye.
So I stayed out. I was never on the game, never. The prosecution tried to say that in the court, but they was malicious.
What photographs?
What do you think? What age was you when you looked at stuff like that? So, what's the bloody difference? You looking at me or my looking out at you?
I'm not attacking you.
Well, I am.
Would you like some more tea?
It's all right. I said a deal. I'll keep it.
You don't have to.
Only that malt found me through the magazines. Kept trying to get me on it. Trying. Presents, God. He followed me around everywhere, smiling like a daft puppy. Then the bastard found my flat. I don't know how he got in, but I didn't want him in there. He was like dirt on the floor. So, I didn't want him in there, right? So, I said yes. We went out into this mews. He put his hand under my hair. So I stabbed him. My mum keeps cactuses. Do you smoke?
No.
Do you do anything?
No.
Do you think I'm pretty? Very? Quite? Or almost?
Sometimes. And I like the socks.
When?
When you cook.
Older men fancy me. About my dad's age. Does that hurt you when I say that?
Yes, a bit.
I hurt everybody. Ben Twyford, Mr. Burwell, most of all me.
You can't go in like that. Mr. Paris.
It's the filth.
Hey!
I'll get cold now. There is filth.
Bad luck.
Inspector! Not too close, she's only human. Brought your son with you, have you? Half hour or the full whack?
She's back in circulation. Has she been in touch?
Don't know the face.
Yes, you do. 2 years old.
Leave it out. I've got 6 different girls a week. They come, they go.
The stage name was Sandra. Sandra Nelson. You were mentioned in call.
I thought she was inside.
Not anymore.
I don't hear the shutters working.
She was in one of your mags.
You got any daughters? Nobody gets touched in here.
Well, if she does turn up, you're going to ring us, aren't you?
Come on, look, they're all legit.
You'll ring. Because if you don't, there's a small offence. Harbouring. And take my word for it, I'll be round here.
Inspector, I have always been straight with the law.
On your past record, Mr. Paris, I would say that was doubtful.
Where now?
Still walkers.
Look, nobody's keeping you here. You can go any time you want. Leave a number and I'll tell Mum.
You don't get me like that.
Like what?
Leave a number?
Look, I think you're a very nice, bouncy person, but it's you want to see her.
That's a bell.
Excuse me.
Hello? Steve, isn't it? Yes. Well, you don't remember me, but I'm Ralph Burwell, a friend of your mother.
Reunion night tonight. Sandra? Sandra? It's funny. She's run.
Must be the day for losing people.
No, there was this girl. She came to see Mum to thank her. Sandra.
Sandra who?
Nelson. Sandra Nelson.
Ah, well, listen, just had a call concerning one J. Paris. Now, what are you doing visiting pornographers?
You mean he's complaining?
No, but obscene publications are.
Coppers watching coppers. What's going on?
Stick around, Sergeant.
All due respect, sir, I've still got 2 meets tonight. For the first time in this man's outfit, I'm taking paperwork home now. I can't pedal my bike any harder.
Hang about. Now, listen, you know it's touchy. So all uniforms now, CID's out.
I told you, I've got a job running.
Well, so tell me again, what's your line of inquiry?
This girl, she escaped from Haley's side today. I arrested her 2 years ago.
But what about this? Uniforms will pick her
She
up.
was in a secure unit. She's carrying a knife. She doesn't like home men or me.
How long have you known about this?
7, 8 hours?
There are 150 men on every 24 hours in the West End walking the streets just looking at faces.
She's after me.
I'm talking about you. Now, Bob Croft said you needed help.
On instructions, I have been out there.
But you didn't think it necessary to get yourself covered? To tell that 150 men we're looking for? Now, how many of your snarts have you seen?
7.
7. There are 14 other CID officers here with contacts.
They're busy. They've got their own trays to empty.
I'm having you covered day and night. Sergeant Fenton.
Oh, are you sure you can spare
I
him?
can't spare you. 4 other nicks cover chunks of this manor. No doubt you haven't told them either.
D.I. Forbes. Hello, Mrs. Steve. Oh, hello, Steve. Hang on a minute, will you, love?
Now, look. I'm passing the yard. I'll have enough copies of this to swamp the West End first thing tomorrow. Sir, come with me, Sergeant.
Hello, love. Look, I'm sorry I haven't been back.
Mr. Burwell thinks I ought to tell you. A girl called Debbie's been here all evening. Only I didn't know that was her name. She said she wanted to thank you. Anyway, she shut off.
You've been a very lucky boy. I'm coming straight back. Don't let anyone in. Right, our lady's been to my place, so I'm going back. I want you to have another look at Paris's dump and then check the hot dog stands, the chestnut cellars, if it's nothing. And I'll get as much as this lot cleared up tomorrow morning. Right, we'll be on the trot from 11 onwards when all good ladies are up and about.
My brief is to stick with you day and night.
Jimmy, there are 2 men sleeping at my house already tonight. 3 would be a crowd.
No, I'll be at the prison department. Yes, she does. Yeah, I'll be back anyway. Bye-bye.
Anything?
No sign, no call.
I'm still being 3rd degreed.
Oh, Maggie.
I used to wonder how she went about extracting confessions.
Look, if I'm worried about me, I'm more than worried about you.
Nothing happened.
Well, one thing's for certain, you're not staying here today.
She won't come back.
Who can you stay with? I mean it.
Brian,
Well, all right, you get ready and I'll drop you there on my way in.
can I finish this first?
You got any more ideas?
Well, her saying that she got your address from my file now is impossible. What she might have seen is my desk diary. I do keep addresses in there.
Why, mine?
Christmas cards.
Steve, you haven't got time for that.
Anagram. No, it isn't. Peerless Mansion, 5, 2 and 7.
House of Commons.
Do you know what those letters and her wrists meant?
No idea.
Maybe it's an anagram.
Can't be, there's only one vowel. Who used to say it? M-A-D, Mum and Dad. Down with... No.
Death to Mum and Dad?
She wouldn't hurt anybody.
Well, well, well. 3 little holes in the ground. We have a dosser. What do you want? Missing it all, are we? What do you want, Debbie?
A fag.
Hey, old Bill's after you. Photos. The lot. It's my duty, as an upright citizen, to tell the inspector. Look, I fancied you with your hair short. Look, I've got the Photographic Society coming here 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You're going to stay here all day, because I don't want that. I do not like little girls who talk about me in court. And I definitely do not like my premises broke into. So, I reckon the best thing I can do to keep the streets clean is to get you off my hands. Right? Now do you here? Oh!
Then I better get down there.
No, hold.
Why not?
Well, no, with obscene publications probably sitting off, this calls for a little diplomacy. Damn.
You want me to tell the governor?
No, Mr. Russell's down at the yard for a briefing on next weekend's little nonsense and collecting photos.
Good. Everybody's out. What are you doing with that mangle? I told you, night and day with Inspector Forbes.
She's due in, sir. We didn't finish till midnight last night. And Bob Croft's gone down to Jimmy Paris's club. He's just had a visit from the little lady we're looking for. She stabbed it.
Bad?
Got it in his cash hand. He'll live.
You on the bell?
Yeah.
Get these down to uniform early turn. Put in enough for the late turn and night shift, yes?
Ready?
She's been busy.
What?
Reserve. D.I. Croft, at the studio, Dean Street, get the following out on the radio. Wanted for grievous bodily harm at 10:17 hours today, Deborah Richard, alias Sandra Nelson. You'll get her description, date of birth, etc. from D.S. Fenton up at the office. Last seen wearing...
Oh, grey jeans, a sheepskin coat and a blue blouse.
Grey jeans, sheepskin coat and a blue blouse.
And that's dirty a bit.
Is around with a knife and dangerous. To be approached with caution. Do not approach without assistance. Right.
Give me half an hour. I'll have every face up west looking for her. She'll go places you lot don't know about.
You're whining.
Cutting me's okay, but thieving, you do not rub your own.
Come on, you're going to help me.
I'm bleeding.
Well, it's a ratepayer's car. I'm not worried about the upholster.
Did you find a knife? She's still got it with her. And that little bitch took our float. She'd better not show round here. You know what he's like about money. He told your mate she's finished up here.
He hasn't had time to put the word out on her yet.
Oh, don't worry. He will.
Where did Inspector Croft go?
I don't
Chief.
know.
They got the knife.
Where?
Stratford.
How?
She threw it out of a taxi window. The driver went back for it, took it to Stratford, and we linked up.
She's going home.
He was a good bloke. We was going to do everything. Mum?
Just a taste. Show you I'm not all forgetting people. There you go. Hackney keg. Be lucky.
To Debbie. Not you, Mrs. Richard?
Yeah, she fancies ballet. I like the hammers. She's Chinese. I'm Vindaloo.
Mr. Richard.
We've always been like that. Wallpaper, emulsion. She wanted 3. I had enough with 1.
This is not strictly my job. You make me angry. I'm supposed to be back running Halyside, not looking after one lost sheep.
How dare you? I don't like my husband much, but sometimes I agree with him. One was enough. Your doctors say she's not ill, so she must be doing it on purpose. I could see that when she was here. I've told you. I've told everybody. We had to put up with a lot from her. We tried. All right, she might have been quicker than us, but that's no excuse. She wouldn't listen. I cried in the early days. Jack did once. But still she went her way. I've held her, locked her up, argued with her, taken her out, bribed. And don't forget, she came out of me. We have to live here. We keep a good home. And one day there's enough, and now I don't want to know. I think my husband's mad, and maybe I am. But we haven't got much time left, have we? I'm not a saint like you. If that's how you want to fill up your life, you get on with it. I'd rather be in Majorca. There are times when I could have killed her.
Mrs. Richard.
If she had that, she'd laugh. She laughs a lot too much, if you ask me.
Have you ever thought of laughing with her?
When I'm crying?
Yes.
Yes?
Mrs. Richard, this is Detective Sergeant Fenton. Ralph?
I'm here about the tattoo.
Look, I've got work in 20 minutes.
Mr. Richard, your daughter is in serious trouble.
She always is.
Bloody hell. You maniac!
No, don't stop.
Take it easy.
Leave her!
Your boy's name's Steve?
Yes.
He's nice.
Why did you stab?
He touched me. Where am I going?
Halyside.
Not with you.
We'll be seeing you.
Why?
If you just run away, it would have been all right. But you did stab, you did burgle, and you did thieve.
He deserved it. He's slime. Will he give evidence against me?
I doubt it.
But you won't be working up west again.
Before that, you need help. Don't you?
I need a fag.
Is Madame in a good mood downstairs?
What?
Your young Debbie. To hear what she's charged with.
Oh, she's, not here. Back in Halyside.
Well, GBH, burglary, theft. One statement, compliments of Mr. James Paris. We are supposed to get bodies. Do you remember?
I don't see anything here about touching a juvenile.
Well, with her record.
He was very clever with his hands. That's why he nearly lost one. If it comes to court, that's what the defense counsel will tell the court. Best of luck.